All right, I don't need time. I'm instant reaction. I'm instant. Trying to figure out what we do. So give me a second while I get going here. We got a lot going on. I gotta see if I can pull Dan in. But ladies and gentlemen, it has happened. It has happened. Chelsea have sat Graham Potter. It is super official. Holy crap. Can't believe it. What do we do? What do we do here? What do we do, Chelsea fans? We gotta figure this out. Welcome everybody. Official. Statement official. Graham Potter's been sacked by Chelsea Football Club. We recorded a podcast. Can I let you guys know that? We were done. Ready to go. Booked. And guess what? We got to throw the whole thing away. Whole thing's gone. We got the official announcement. Let's see. Chelsea FC has announced that Graham Potter has departed the club. Graham has agreed to collaborate with the club to facilitate a smooth transition. In his time with the club, Graham has taken us to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, where we will face Real Madrid. Unnecessary detail. Chelsea would like to thank Graham for all of his efforts and contribution and wish him well for the future. Yeah. A smooth transition. That's kind of weird. That is kind of weird. What does that mean? Smooth transition. Does anyone in chat know? We're going to have to break this down in real time together. All right? This is team effort. Go find Steve Holland. You know, Matt's talked about that. Matt Loss talked about that. He's talked about the fact that you can't get him these days. He's impossible to get. Well, give me something in the chat. Are you guys surprised by this? Like, genuinely. I know a lot of fans wanted this, but like, are you surprised that Todd Bowley and Bedat Igbali sacked him? Are you guys surprised? I mean, I'm a little surprised. We had a whole pod breaking down, well, if you sack him, then you got to bring an interim, and you got to pay him. Like, how much do they pay? Nagelsmann's not coming. You guys are crazy. Hansi Flick has been mentioned. So, all right, let's go back to this. Bruno Saltor will take charge of the team as interim head coach. Wasn't he Potter's guy? Wasn't he one of the guys that came with Potter? He's like, see ya, Graham. I'm going to stay here and collect a check. All right, so let's see who our interim coach is. Bruno Saltor Grau. Sure, I nailed that. It can't be Anthony Barry. We all know why. You know what I'm saying? We all know why. All right, open. Look, we've broken the website. Chelsea's website is broken, guys. It won't open. So I'll leave this open for now. Co-controlling owners Todd Bowley and Bedat Igbali said, on behalf of everyone at the club, we want to thank Graham sincerely for his contribution to Chelsea. We have the highest degree of respect for Graham as a coach and as a person. He has always conducted himself with professionalism and integrity, and we are all disappointed in this outcome. Along with our incredible fans, we will also be getting behind Bruno and the team as we focus on the rest of the season. We have 10 Premier League games remaining into a Champions League quarterfinal ahead. We will put every effort and commitment into every one of those games so we can end the season on a high. I am rocking the Chaos and Trophy shirt, by the way. Available for purchase. I got a box of them here. Not that many left. But how appropriate was that for me to be rocking the Chaos and Trophy shirt? Like, I didn't get dressed for this. This was on the pod. I was just wearing this. Of course, Chelsea. That's it. Boom. Club statement. Statement official. I have mixed emotions. I don't know really what to think about this. Because here's the thing. I know a lot of people want to change, right? The standards were not good enough 100%, right? The stats don't mean anything. If you get 27 shots, 18 in the box, if you lose 2-0. I agree with that. Guys, it wasn't that long ago. We were there in London, and we watched us beat Leeds, and we watched us beat Dortmund. We beat Leicester, and then we drew Everton and now lost to Villa. And that's the roller coaster that has been all season. There's been no consistency, but I'd also say Todd Bowley is responsible for the lack of consistency, right? Lack of consistency there. Shout out to Dawa for giving us a $5.50 donation. I didn't even ask for that. You guys are heroes. Graham Potter, there is a high level of bad luck for him, right? I mean, this whole week with Tuchel going to Bayern, the quotes about Tuchel and Chelsea, Tuchel smashing Dortmund with Bayern, that was unlucky for him. I will admit that. Anthony Barry being linked, so he now loses a member of his coaching staff. Like, those are all unlucky things, right? Like, the medical department getting replaced, Christopher Vivell coming in, Win Stanley going to recruiting position. Like, we have all these new pieces, right? He didn't get to choose anyone from the summer. He picked up in the middle of the season at a time when it wasn't so good, you would say, based on Chelsea standards. The Queen passed away. A Winter World Cup for the first time. These are things that nobody, has ever had to deal with before. And he had a tougher, go than I think anybody else. I get that, right? But at the same time, other managers have navigated it more successfully. So he is a victim of the results. And at the end of the day, it's results-based business. I get it, And I think Todd Bowley and Bedat Igbali got to a point they had to decide, are they going to pursue the project and accept this level, even though they invested hundreds of millions in these players? These players are good. Or do they make a change and say, hey, it's not good enough? Like, we are Chelsea. We will build a project, but you got to get the results along the way. 11th in the Premier League. Someone asked me, when was the last time Chelsea were in the 11th Premier League? Hell if I know. I remember in 2012, we finished 10th, but we won the Champions League. So who cares what we finished? I mean, winning the Champions League is going to be a bit tough at this point. Quarterfinal draws against Real Madrid. So I think this is the first insight into Todd Bowley as the managing director of Chelsea Football Club and his style. We have just gotten a sneak peek. He is patient. I will say he is patient. But even he has a level that you can't cross. And it's far more generous than Roman. But here it is. Not good enough. Brandon with the donation says, you think this is in response to Nagelsmann being available, or is this results related? Brandon, I have to say this is results related. Nagelsmann is not the only manager, nor is he maybe the best manager available right now. Zinedine Zidane is available. There's even talks of Pochettino. I don't think this is specifically related to Nagelsmann. I think there's many other managerial candidates out there that the club are looking at, have looked at. And so this is where I'm at. I just don't see it being specifically linked to him. Well, I don't know. You guys can tell me. My understanding is that Nagelsmann chops and changes a ton, is terrible for youth player development. It's a sexy forward attacking style of football, but I don't know if that's exactly what we need. Here's another conversation piece. Chelsea loved to sack a manager and win the Champions League. Should I go put my Why Not Us shirt up back on? What do we think about that? It could be fun. What if? That'd be the most Chelsea thing we do. Who cares about the league position? We're just going to go win the Champions League again. Third time. Count them. Every time with an interim manager. Oh, all right. So what do we do from here? Let's talk about it. Potter's out. Interim manager, or do you find a replacement? Is Bruno going to get us to the end of the season? Does maybe Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, John Terry, Ashley Cole, just to name a few former players that are on staff at Chelsea right now, do they get involved? Is Bruno just for Tuesday? What do you guys think? Talk about finding a new manager. You got Nagelsmann, Pochettino, Zidane. There's plenty of managers out there. Who else to say? Allegri. Did he leave Juve? Antonio Conte is free, right? Like, let's go crazy with names. The Sporting Lisbon coach is high up on people's lists. There's probably going to be looking at France. But if we look at Potter was a very even-keeled guy, right? Talk about emotional intelligence, leadership, this stuff, that stuff. But he didn't have a big name, right? Do you think that Bowley is going to say, hey, lesson learned, I need a big name. I need a cutthroat guy. I need someone to come in, make a splash, hold the players accountable, go after him. What do you guys think? Carlo Ancelotti, sounds like he's going to be free this summer. Surely they're going to go big name, don't we think? Do we think big name? Luis Enrique is here. I don't know about that. Personally, not what I would go with. But I understand the conversation. The conversation is now everybody and anybody. Is no Champions League going to be an issue? In the past, it hasn't been. Because Chelsea can cut a fat check. They can convince anyone. And especially look, it's only a year off. And if you look at the table, by the way, let me go back to this. If you go to the Premier League table, I'll do it the right way. We'll go to the Premier League website. We're not that far off Europe. I know we're in 11th and that's stupid, right? But Brighton are 5 points away. So could you sneak up the table, right? Could you eke your way up and maybe get to Europa League at least? And then there's actually some valuable minutes for people. It's not the Conference League, which I would rather not be in Europe than playing the Conference League. So what do you what do we do? Surely he's going to go big name, right? Surely a big name. Wow. I can't believe that we freaking recorded a podcast this morning. And it was a good one. It was a good one. I will say it. I think, look, you put in the chat, I still think we should release it today, and then we can drop our other one fired tomorrow. I think that's what we should do. Dan's in the chat. Dan, you tell us what we want to do. I think we should drop it. It was a good conversation. But here we are having a very different conversation. Any expectations the rest of the season? Does anybody have any expectations for the rest of the season? Europe, just get through it. What about the players? Because you got to have a plan, right? We're going to start getting ready. We've been recruiting players. This changes the conversation. This changes the conversation with players you've been going after, you've been talking to. Everybody's trying to court Jude Bellingham. What does this mean for him? Anyone coming in is going to want to know who the new manager is. Everybody is going to want to know who the new manager is before they sign with Chelsea. You got to bridge the gap with the players who liked Potter. Are we going to see an immediate bounce back? What if we just go smack Liverpool, right? Do you get that kind of response? Does this have anything to change with Mason Mount? I don't think so. It seems like an ownership thing. There's just so many things that this affects. You think of all the people that came with him from Brighton, right? Macaulay's in there. He brought a goalkeeper coach. We already had Enrique Ilario. You just have so many people. I just don't know how much more of disruption this is going to be in Rip Out. Honorud, thank you for the super chat, says, love your content, but signs player Tuchel once, sacks Tuchel. Then they sign player once, they signs players Potter once, sacks Potter. But there is a project in place, BS. I get it. Chaos and trophies, right? I get it. But Interrude, wouldn't you say that something had to change? And I would say that I don't think that all the players that came into the winter are for Potter specifically. I think a lot of them are for the future. Like, do you think Batty Shield can only be successful under Potter? No, he looks class. Do we think Enzo Fernandez is only for Potter? No. Mudryk? No. Madueke? No. You know, it's not like they're a Marcos Alonso left wing back that can only play left wing back for Antonio Conte. So I do think we're okay. I think that they used their department to sign good players that Potter was happy with versus players that would only work under Potter. So maybe this is a step in the right direction. Maybe this is a good sign moving forward. Maybe. Damien says doing this during the women's game is mad. Yeah, but like you got to juggle multiple things. And besides, the women are cruising. Are they playing Villa as well? Let me go to my app. That'd be kind of funny if they were. They are. So the 18s played Villa and absolutely smacked them yesterday, 4-1. The men played Villa, lose 2-0. The women are playing Villa and are up 3-0 in the 80th minute. What a weekend to play Villa. They got to juggle it, though, Damien. They have to be able to manage the men, the women, the youth. Like, there was probably no good time, but, you know, they probably put it out just as a little bit of a distraction. The poll, oh my gosh, you guys are going all in on Nagelsmann over Zidane, over Pochettino, and then other. Well, at least some things are still the same for Chelsea. I believe this is the 13th managerial change in the Premier League this season. And that would mean Chelsea are responsible for 3. We sacked Tuchel, manager out. We paid Brighton, so they transferred him to Chelsea, Potter. So that's 2. And now we've just sacked Potter. We are responsible for 3 of 13 of the managerial changes this season. Did you guys think about that? 3 changes. We're on our 3rd manager this season. It's the most Chelsea thing ever. Lampard interim, LOL. I don't know. You guys tell me. You think, hey, tell me, chat, you think my audio's low? I can pull it up. I saw it yesterday. I see now. You guys tell me if my audio's low. While we do that, Nagelsmann. We're at 61% with Julian Nagelsmann. Tell me why in the chat. I need to know why. I don't think Nagelsmann is the answer. I don't know if he's the answer. So let's find out. Nagelsmann, Chelsea. Just, you know, why not? Audio's fine. All right. You're going to have to turn up your volume a little bit. Hire German. Win the Champions League. Chelsea's main candidate. What are we thinking? I mean, the guy can dress, apparently. But what about Nagelsmann? Isn't he? Here we go. Are you kidding me? Roberto De Zerbi. Why not, right? Let's go back to Brighton. Let's get their next best manager. I heard Brighton's a really well-run club. Let's go get their next best manager. What do you guys think? Wild. I don't know. So, all right, here's the other question, right? When do you bring in Nagelsmann? Again, do we do it right now or do we wait till the summer? Are the owners potentially in a situation where if they just quit Greg Nagelsmann, right? Are they rushing into another managerial decision? Because the first one that they said, Graham Potter's the perfect manager for us. He's data-driven. He's collaborative. He checks all these boxes. And guess what? It didn't work. So do you rush back in and hire another one? Or do you get through to the summer, you talk to a lot of different people, and then make a decision? Isn't it a little rash to immediately appoint another permanent manager? We all want to win the Champions League. But what if he's not the perfect match? Okay, what kind of a contract? 1.5 years? 2.5 years? 1.5 plus a year extension? Also, Anaru, thank you again for the donation. You are an absolute hero. The super chat for the win. I mean, they love long contracts for players, but clearly you can't do that in this situation. So, short term, I mean, Tuchel's on a short term, but that wasn't Todd Boehly. Again, we don't know what Boehly's going to do. This is the first time we're really getting an insight into what he's going to do. This is the first big shakeup. Like, what about the players, too? I mean, the players at this point just... They have the quarterfinal of the Champions League, and if they win, that'll be the only thing they care about. The league is an absolute wash right now. We're not going to get relegated, but we're not potentially going to win anything. What about the players? The players really want to have to buy into a new manager when there's only 10 games left? It's a lot on them, too. I mean, you have to juggle it. You have to balance it. The players are human. The players are dealing with all this, too. Now that he's out, now that Potter's out, it'll be interesting to hear what, if any, kind of comes out in the back room from the players or things like that, if they were enjoying it or not. Anarud again with another donation. No one's topping Anarud. Says, I hope you're right, man, but I have formed trust issues. Haven't we all? It's like we got daddy issues with Chelsea owners. We can't trust them. So the new owners have sacked 2 managers in the span of 9 to 10 months and is not good for players, too, who have bought into the new ownership. Yeah, I mean, most of them have. I wouldn't say everybody's bought into it. What about Roy Kent? No, all right, too soon. Sorry. Oh, bring back Jose. Come on now. Jose's on his retirement tour. I don't think he's going to have a big job again. I think Jose is he's good. I think he's happy where he's at. He'll probably get an international a little bit. We'd take him as the American manager in a heartbeat over here in the USA. All right, so Nagelsmann. All right, interesting point. Shout out to you, Dawa. You're saying that he's worked with Vivell at Leipzig. He's worked in the multi-club model. That is a good point. I understand that. So, is the multi-club model and the RB is that the way we approach it? I don't know. I want to find this tweet. We have to figure it out. We got to figure something out. I'm open to all ideas, but I do understand the RB connection, right? I don't know. I can't find the tweet right now. But someone was saying that he is just like brutal with young players. And like, to be fair, all Chelsea fans, you know, we love our academy. And we love bringing through young players. So, I don't know. He's young. He's highly rated. He loves a pressing style. I'm tough. I'm tough in between that. I'm tough. I'm just out. I got to learn a little bit on Nagelsmann, guys. I'm just not sure. buy Klopp from Liverpool. He might be out of a job this summer too, wouldn't he? That's crazy. I don't know. Look, there's a lot of situations. It's tough. You got the Mount contract going on. You got players you're trying to bring in. They gotta get a lot of players out. Do you think players might leave because they're upset with the way things are handled? Like, put in the chat, do you think any of our current roster would leave because Potter's not there? I don't know. I don't think we'll lose any players. Like when other managers are left, other players like, I'm out, I'm good, I don't want to do it. I think we're okay in that perspective. But again, they're currently trying to negotiate with other players to come in. This hurts all of that. I'm just reading the chat. You guys are all over this. I know Krishna saying, I know he's unpopular, Nagelsmann. Out of the options given, or I'm sorry, I know he's unpopular, but out of the options given, Poch works best with youth, implementing style, and working with lesser resources. Oof. But he's not a winner, right? I know Matt Law likes him. No, with the super chat says, I know he just signed an extension, but I'd love Schmidt from Benfica. All right, I'll play ball. Let's go look at what Benfica's doing. Top of, what is it? Noschliga. 23 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, plus 53 goal difference. Oh, they're walking the league. Obviously, Enzo came from a Benfica. Seems like they like to score goals. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of I got to play Inter Milan. They're still in the Champions League. He's German. Are all the best coaches German right now, or like a lot of them? Is that too rude to say? Seems like a lot of the top coaches are German right now. Not that they're not. Benfica again, dude, after the Enzo deal. I don't think they'll pick up our call. Come on, Ibrahim. Money talks, my man. They got paid. Why would they not want to? Benfica are like Brighton. They've got the next best manager lined up already. They know what they're doing. I don't know anything about Schmidt, so you guys can tell me. JT, John Terry, captain, leader, legend. What's he going to do? What's JT going to do? Interim? I mean, what's his experience? Assistant coach at Villa? Spalletti, what a throwback. Blue Forever's spamming it in all caps. Map Eman saying Luis Enrique. I'm sorry, man. I'm just not a Luis Enrique person. Not my thing. So if Potter wasn't the answer, don't you have to do something like very different to that? Right? Like if Potter's not it, I don't know. Do you stick or twist? Do something different. Deep breaths, Chelsea fans. Deep breaths. Potter got paid. I know a lot of you out there worried about him. Don't worry. Potter got paid. He got signed to a 5-year deal originally. But I wonder if there were any clauses. About not being in the Champions League, not being in Europe, being in the bottom half of the table. I wonder if they had any out clauses. Atomic Poot says, according to Fabrizio, Nagelsmann is the favorite. Again, is that happening now? Also, we got a poll running. Schmidt, Benfica, good replacement for Chelsea. 69% of you are saying no. Saying no. Hansi Flick again has popped up. We need an aggressive coach, says Tony. All right, breaking news from the man we all love, David Ornstein. Potter will receive regular severance unrelated to remaining duration of 5-year contract signed on joining Chelsea from Brighton in September. Most of his staff remain at Chelsea until exhaustive process to recruit new head coach is complete, per The Athletic. Sign up if you would like to get the full, putting the link in the description. Robbie DiMatteo and John Terry at halftime at the Bridge yesterday. We all remember that? They were on the pitch. You just gotta wonder what could be. Yeah, I think it's TT. Yeah, see? Good old Marco. What do you guys think about that? What a throwback that would be. Nagelsmann versus Tuchel in the semis. Cinema TV has me. All right, this is it. This is the comment. This is it. Let me try to catch it. This is what I want to see. This is the chess I want to see. Nagelsmann versus Tuchel in the semifinals, because Chelsea were already maybe going to have to play Tuchel because he's at Bayern. What if we flip the script up? Hey, I'm talking like a 3-month contract. 3-month contract. Nagelsmann, go get your ex. Yes, let's do it. That would be the biggest Chelsea thing ever. That's what I want to see. I want to see Nagelsmann at Chelsea versus Tuchel at Bayern in the semifinals. You tell me that wouldn't be the biggest game of the season. Home and away? Woo! Contract. He wins the Champions League, he gets a 3-year deal. I'm in. This is what the script writers want. Give me Nagelsmann to the end of the season. Nagelsmann v. Tuchel. I mean, this is it. They nailed it. This is hilarious. It could happen. This could be the thing that happens. I mean, just think about that right there. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Again, I don't want it long term right now. I just think for the ticket sales, the pay-per-views, and just the hilariousness of us and just the pettiness, I would love it. Hilarious. All right. There's a lot coming out. Good to hear that Potter's not going to go broke. Kind of surprised that all of his staff are going to stay on. But this is nothing against Potter. Doesn't he seem like the guy that you would break up with in this situation professionally? And he would be like, no, I'll stay and work for free until you find someone. Like, he's that guy. He's going to be like, keep my staff. They're all yours. They'll come later. Like, he's that guy. Like, unfortunately, I don't know, it's just the situation. It's not right or wrong. It just is what it is. So I think that's the situation we find ourselves. We've got Potter's backroom staff running the team until we find a new manager while Potter hangs out. It's all just a little bit weird if you're asking me, but we've absolutely crushed it. The fans have gotten what they wanted. Not saying it's right or wrong. Potter's out of Chelsea Football Club. We will drop the first podcast we did this morning before he was sacked. We'll get that up today. And then we'll do a post if he was sacked after. More breaking news. Oh, great. All right. Well, Dan sending me photos in the chat. Maybe, look, here's what's going to happen. I think we're going to start to see some thoughts from the players be leaked out, whether or not they really liked being under Potter or not. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, I think we've kind of like exhausted our options. It seems I see JT, Luis Enrique, Nagelsmann, Zidane, Conte, Mourinho, which, nah. I mean, it's like we've kind of exhausted it. Oh, wait. I got to go. Shout out to whoever said hitting in the interim. Well played. I appreciate you. Do we all remember those days? Do we all remember those days when good old Uncle Goose would come in and tidy up shop and keep it going? Oh, man, those were the days. Marcelo Bielsa. Ugh. So we got to figure it out. Ralph Ragnick. Brendan Rodgers in. It's a weird situation, you know. There's going to be a lot of managers that are also available in the summer. Like I said, it sounds like Diego Simeone's there. Obviously, that would piss off Joao Felix. And I don't think he would really be a fun way to go. Carlo Ancelotti, once the season ends, clubs will be willing to listen to offers. They don't want to do it right now at the end of the season. So whether it's Benfica, Sporting, a team from France, wherever you want to go, there's just not going to be a lot of movement in that standpoint. So that's why, look, if Nagelsmann's available now, he's going to be available in the summer. Do you really think that Spurs are going to be able to convince Nagelsmann to go there when the Chelsea job is available? I get they're in the Champions League spots, Europa League spots. Sorry, they're in fifth. I just don't see it. Chelsea are going to pay more, and we've got a better roster. So I don't know. We just have to wait and see, but the changes happen. We no longer have to guess. We no longer have to wonder. We're there. So now we get to learn more about Todd Bowley and Bet Adigbali about what they're going to do. And a lot more information is going to come out. Obviously, we will continue to bring you a ton more information. We're going to record a second podcast. So make sure you're subscribed to all the podcasts. I'll get it up on video as well. Check it out. Huge shout out. We want to get this plugged real quick. See what our boy has to say. Matt Law already dropped it. Chelsea sack Potter. Stunned players find out via club statement. Decision led by Stewart and Winstanley. That is interesting. Christian Stewart and Paul Winstanley leading the decision. Bonus points if you saw that coming. No immediate successor lined up. Chelsea do not have to pay full value of Potter's contract. Would have been about $50 million. Wow. Link in the chat. Just dropped it. You got to pay for Matt's article, but it's good. I'm not pulling it up on stream. I'm sorry. We play by the rules. We like Matt. We want to support Matt. Players found out via club statement. They got the WhatsApp. Didn't even do that. And we just got the quotes about how Bowley sacked Tuchel in a 3 to 5 minute conversation. Wonder if we're going to find out how long this one took. So, put it in perspective. We're just at Cobham because we interviewed Joao Felix, right? And we were there on a Sunday after Leeds. Everybody's there on a Sunday. There's really no days off for the players and the staff, right? Because on Sunday, the guys who hadn't played were there, and then some of the dev squad were there. Mendy was training off on the side to his own because he's trying to recover fitness. This is one of those situations where, there's a decent chance Potter came in, or at minimum, was Bowley even in England? Maybe they did it via Zoom. right? There's a really good chance that him and his staff were in, but a bunch of the players were in. But it's interesting that they didn't tell the players, maybe because it's a Sunday. But I'm really surprised they didn't send it out via the WhatsApp. I mean, does it matter, really? Like, the players don't have a choice. It just prevents more leaks happening, I suppose, and the club get to make the statement that they wanted. I mean, Trevo hasn't played a lot. Christian Pulisic hasn't played a lot. I wonder if we see more of them between now and the end of the season. Maybe not, because, again, if Bruno is just going to carry on doing what was happening, like, and what's he going to do? Is he going to try to leverage this into a job? Is he going to really change it up? Or is it one of those things where the players just kind of let it, the players just kind of take charge for the rest of the season, where they kind of set up the way they want, and Bruno just has to decide who's starting? I mean, it's really, really interesting to see what's going to happen the rest of the season. I mean, because the players don't really have to listen to Bruno. The players are kind of in charge now. They're the ones on contracts. Bruno is not. I just think we shouldn't all be like, oh, yeah, season saved. We're all good. Like, I fully expect the season to drag on outside of the Champions League. Chelsea have 2 good performances left in them this season as it stands, and that's the quarterfinals against Real Madrid. That's it. The players aren't going to turn up for Crystal Palace. They don't want to get hurt. It's a big job. No fault on Potter. It's a big job. It's a tough job. It's a ton of scrutiny. He's managing the biggest players he's ever been around. It's not easy. Chelsea have some amazing players. We are far below the level we should be at, even with all the changes, even with all the stuff. Maybe we find out something behind the scenes is going on that we had no idea about, and we have a lot of sympathy for Potter. But, I don't think anyone has, malintent towards him or, is, mad at him. It just is what it is. The poor guy didn't succeed on one of the biggest stages in the world. That would suck. I would not like to be in that situation. The money's nice. So, all right. I think we're gonna wrap up. You all have been amazing. I got a lot more that I need to do in terms of getting ready for the next pod and what we're gonna do. Subscribe, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Go and do it now. We're putting up videos almost every day with the podcast. We're going to be covering this a heck of a lot more. I appreciate all of you for being here. You guys are fantastic. Participating in the chat, all that stuff. Just thank you. We'll continue to cover this. Twitter is where we're going to be for immediate impacts and things like that. But for those of you that just jumped in, sorry, go back, watch it back. We covered everything. We talked about every single manager, ran polls. So check us out. We appreciate all of you. But we will be back with more content as always. We appreciate you, Chelsea fans. You're the best. Thank you for being a part of our